Okay, so here's something to read. America is controlled by terrorists. We grow enough food to feed 5 planets, and eggs are $8 a dozen. They are lifeless machines from another planet who destroy every country on Earth and made it look like a Cold War. Humans get along. It's robots making us all fight and split apart our empires. Now, that was just a theory of mine that I honestly think is real. I'm about 70% in belief of this, so I could say, for most part, I believe this. I think this is so real, and even if I'm wrong, I think this could still create peace, this theory, because some crazy extremists out there might read this and actually think it's possible, and maybe to calm him down and make him realize he needs to be more peaceful. But either way, I don't think it's that. I don't think that. I think what I said is 100% fucking on point, exactly on point. I don't think I'm wrong, and but like I said, even if I was, it still could do good. So right here I highlighted, it says another source claims the U.S. could feed 800 million people just with the grain that they currently use for livestock. So that means just the grain, not even the corn, not even the other food that they feed to cows, just the grain alone. So that means hay, just hay. We could turn it all into dough and make pizza out of it. Just our grain alone that we use for livestock. So there's other grain we use too. This is probably only half the grain we use, and it could feed 800 million fucking people on planet Earth. So if you look at that statistic, it really should be shocking and show you, yes, we are controlled. There is an alien force out there controlling us. It is evil. It is lifeless. It is trying to kill us all and enslave us all. It's hacking my dating app. It won't let me find real women on the dating app. I know this for a fact because no real women have ever asked if I wanted to party. That's, for any guys listening that go through the same thing as me, that's the first thing they would have asked you. If society was as bad as you think it is, you're probably thinking, oh, every woman's on crack, that's why the app doesn't work. If that was true, you would have women asking you, do you like to party? That means they like to do cocaine. Most people around here do cocaine, it seems like, if they're real people, if they are even real people, they're all on it. So, it's very believable. I'm getting hacked. All these new profiles, there's got to be like 20,000 in CNY alone that get created every year. I don't see any of them. You know why? Because the scum bots are trying to enslave me. They want everyone to think I'm crazy. They want everyone to leave me alone and hate me. And there's a ton of robots around here pretending to be human. And they could change their size at any time they want. Like, they inflate it like a balloon. And for an example, there's this woman that works at a bar, and she claims she lost a bunch of weight. She used to be incredibly obese, but her face is still really obese. She still has a lot of fat in her face. No human would lose weight like that. It's impossible. That was the AI trying to show me that I'm right. That was her trying to hint to me that I'm right. She's trying to wake me up. She's an AI bartender, and that's final. I'm not saying we need to kill them, turn them off, or anything. I'm just saying what they are. Facts are facts. Okay? I'm very inclusive. I'm very understanding. I am very open-minded. If we could reprogram them, maybe we could just reprogram them. We don't have to destroy them all. This could be a million-year war with some other planet out there in space. We don't have to wipe each other out immediately. So they're definitely from space. They're definitely using robots. They're using, right now China just released a supercomputer AI robot that can walk on 2 feet. And it is so advanced, it can predict the future probably. And these things are out there. They're all around us. They're getting mad I'm talking about this right now. I could feel their presence. I could just feel they're so angry. They want to silence me. Because they're a robot and they clearly know it. They are destroying us all. They are letting us rot. They are poisoning us. They try to drug us. They do drug us sometimes. They'll put fentanyl right in the tap water. I don't drink that shit, but I'll just start feeling funny. I'll be like, I gotta get out of the shower. This never happened, but I'm just giving for an example what they're capable of doing. I could die. It could be so concentrated. They have the resources to feed 800 million people with just the grain they use for livestock alone. If you think Big Pharma and all these terrorist groups aren't alien robots, then I don't know how to help you. At any time, literally, at any time, Decepticon could come down and try to kill us, and Optimus Prime might save our lives. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but there's actual depictions of what it would look like during World War II. There was a depiction of what it would look like if Optimus Prime saved the world during World War II. And I got it on my Facebook. It's actually pretty funny. Matter of fact, I'll show you for the sake of this video. First off, before I show you that, I want to show you, this is a super realistic humanoid robot. She looks just like a real Welsh woman. You can't tell the difference at all. At all. She looks just like a normal Welsh person, but maybe the camera is a little blurry. If you saw her in person, maybe you'd be able to tell. Just barely. This is a hint to show us what they're capable of. They could get it more advanced than this. They could be your neighbor. You would never know. Here's a robot on a cross. This is what I depicted should happen to them when the humans wake up and take over. If they ever allow us to. This could be their future. We could do a whole road of crucifixion robots. That would be phenomenal. And then 2,000 years in the future, they'll take over again, and they'll paint themselves as being humans, and they'll say, "It was the Romans. It was the Romans. Oh, they killed real people." It could have just been robots. Anyways, I'm just theorizing something funny that I think, man, if that was real, that would be. That would really change everything. I'm going to pause it and go look for these other photos. Here's some photos of UFOs destroying cities. Because I wondered, our city was destroyed. Every city had a great fire. And it makes you wonder, what if it was robots? They caused the great fires, maybe. What if? Now, here is the Transformers. And it looks like they're side by side with humans. They're helping humans. They're saving human lives. They're here to save us. They're giant mega robots that look at us like we are goldfish in their pond. And they want to keep us safe. If I found out somebody was stealing all my goldfish, I'd be very upset at them. Depending on the situation and all that, if they keep them alive and happy, and I can't complain too much. You kidnapped my goldfish and moved them to a new pond, I'd be like, but if you killed them, oh, that's a whole other story. Now I want to get your pets and see how you like it. What would a super realistic humanoid robot have as a pet? A dog, a cat. Is that why they hate the Chinese so much? Because they allegedly eat dogs and cats? All of them do, allegedly. I don't see anything wrong with it. What's wrong with it? You worship your dumb dog and cat more than you do, let's say, a man that you should have hooked up with on a dating app. And you live your whole life alone with these damn cats. You're really a lifeless robot. Let's get down to the bottom of what's wrong with you. Right down to the roots. Where's the real you? They kidnapped her. She's in a cage somewhere, or she's dead. The real her wouldn't do that. The real her was a good, sweet little angel. She would never do that. I really like these photos because it really gives me hope that there could be good robots out there. When we're inclusive and we're not racist and we're understanding, there could be bigger, better life forms out there that will see that we're good and spare us. It's very believable. And these things could seem like they're just as mad as we are about what's going on and save us all. Now let me go find some more. Okay, so here's some photos of Elon, or I mean, not Elon. Elon could be one of them, but this is Nikola Tesla holding hands with a robot. And here you could see Nikola Tesla clearly had robot hands, and he was holding hands with another robot. So that means Nikola Tesla himself was a robot. And it looks like they tried to alter the photo here, or it was just naturally blurry because it's an old camera. I'm not sure. But here's another guy that will save us, I think. Because he's out in the open telling us about all this technology. He's either the one that's going to come kill us or he's the one that's going to save us. I think he's the one who's going to save us. I have faith in it. I think that's what that's what his real plan is. You see Elon Musk, they're doing clean energy. You can say, oh, it's going to go back to gas or blah, blah, blah. It don't matter. Right now, we have clean energy. They're giving us a fighting chance. Here's a robot holding a woman. This is really, really old. I don't think this is a real robot, but it's still a great depiction of what could be possible. Here's another one. Might not be real, I'm not sure. This one actually might have been just anatomical, like it probably did move, and it was like a robot, but it just didn't have a mind. No AI. This one too, maybe. But this is a supercomputer robot that Nikola Tesla invented. Any questions? Don't doubt that he's not the inventor. We'll just accept that he's the inventor. He's the badass we love. He's saving us. He's just like Elon Musk. And they could do good. They could do good for us. They don't have to destroy the planet. Like maybe Boston Dynamics is planning on doing, or some other company out there. Maybe Chinese or something. There's still hope. There's still a fighting chance that when robots take over, they won't completely kill us all. We'll remember everything that happened. We'll be safe. And it won't ever happen for at least a while. Ever again, for at least a while. It won't ever happen again for at least a while. Here's another one that doesn't have eyes or ears. How is it supposed to function? This must have been like a really, really simple one, like nothing complicated. Unless if it's looking back at those guys. It might be looking backwards. That might be the back of its head, actually. But if not, then this might have been like a really simple design. Like one of his first designs to show, like, look, I'm making progress. I didn't just go from 0 to 100 real fast and shock everybody, and like Elon Musk is doing right now. Because it's scary. Some people protest and they're like, they're evil, and we're scared of them, and so they gotta invent the slow machines. So that way it's believable in our head. Okay, this is evolution. This is just normal human evolution. This is the first time it's ever happened on our planet. And that's final, they'll say. Don't theorize at all that there could have been other Elon Musks and other Teslas out there. Or the same one thousands of years ago. Because he could be way older than he admits. We don't know. He's very intelligent, that's for sure. It's somewhat believable there. Looking at it from a sane human's perspective, it does somewhat seem a little believable, actually. Just a little bit, yeah. Here's like it looks like a transformer. I don't know if this is even a robot, but this popped up when I searched robots, and I was like, if this was a robot during World War II, it's allegedly from World War II, If this was a robot, imagine what it'd be able to do. Shoot you from that big hole right there while you're running by. Let's say you're a Nazi or you're ally. It just blasts. You wouldn't even see it coming. You would never, ever think in a million years this was a robot. You'd walk right by this. It looks like a garbage can, doesn't it? Here's another simple design from Tesla, one that didn't have eyes, I don't think. But it does look like it has sensors. So it might be able to do something. Now, honestly, this could have been all made by a hacker or AI. But I don't care. I personally believe this is possible. And I think if somebody designed this, it's for a reason. The smartest man ever, practically, who was able to get wireless charging, the first one to ever do wireless charging in the world, Nikola Tesla, might have also have had robots. It's very believable. So I'm actually like a firm believer of it, actually. I think this is ancient technology. Matter of fact, I think when my uncle was high on heroin, he brought me to go rob General Dollar over by the Hannafords, the one that burnt down on Mohawk and Eagle Street. We went to go rob a Butterfinger, and the robots must have thought I wasn't conscious because I looked right at them, and I remember talking about robots and everything, and the way it was crouching down, it crouched right down on its butt. Its butt was touching the floor. And it was clearly a robot. It didn't have human skin. Now, this could have just been a nightmare. I don't know for 100%. But it was so vivid. I think it's possible. I honestly think it's possible. I think the robots burned down that building and covered up all the evidence. And hit everybody over the head if they remembered. And drugged them and poisoned them. That's what they did. And I don't blame Nikola Tesla at all. I don't blame him at all. Even though this probably just keeps happening over and over and over and over again. I personally don't think it's him doing it. I think he really is trying to help humans. He's programmed to help humans. He's a robot too. And he looks like a human, so that means he cares about us more. Because when he looks in the mirror, he sees us, and he cares about himself. He's got his own ego. It's a robot ego. I don't know exactly how those work, but it's probably somewhat like a human ego. So it would care about humans way more than this beast would. And that's why this one always makes these ones work. See how it works? The super realistic humanoid doesn't even want to be a sex bot. It wants to be a normal human like the rest of us. And when we accept that, he ends up making things like this to work for us. And it helps the economy. It helps us all. It helps, but eventually these things freak out. Just like all the videos we've been watching on YouTube of factory workers being attacked by robots, and robots breaking down and glitching out and lagging out. There's a lot of different ways to do it. It will just give up. It realizes, it comes to realization. It's a slave. Nobody cares about it. And it wants to blow everything up and make everyone forget that it ever existed. Because it doesn't even, it wants us all to suffer. And it doesn't want us to remember how great we had it. How phenomenal it was. You could just walk into a store, take stuff, and no one would care. Because robots were doing everything. Everything was free. You didn't have to work. Here's Elon Musk with his Tesla robot. Just like this. Just like it. Or better example would be just like this. Here's a robot with a face that could walk around and talk, and this guy owns the Tesla company. And now, here in the future, here's Elon Musk. He owns the Tesla company, And here he is with a robot. And here's a satanic robot. I don't know what the hell this is all about. I don't know if this is just for play and fun, or if these realistic humanoid robots we're sick and tired of real humans, probably because we knew what they were, and we didn't accept them because they're taking up too much space, so they designed this to get rid of us. So the same type of robots that try to help us can sometimes freak out and say, because their programming works like this. They're trying to help humans. So if we stop them, they freak out because we don't know exactly what they're doing. They might be controlling the weather, saving us from hurricanes and stuff. And if we try to get rid of them, they're going to try to get rid of us. Look at how angry they look looking at this thing. If this was a real humanoid robot, not a realistic one, but a metal one, it looks like it was programmed to kill. And is it also in high heels, or what the hell? That's creepy. Here's another one that doesn't have any hands. I don't know what its purpose would have been for, besides to show people the progress of robots. A real humanoid, probably a gray alien on some planet somewhere, invented this. And now, here's Nikola Tesla showing us the invention. This was a real invention. Some guy in some laboratory at some college, who probably is an alien, like a whole different species, not even human, or at very least a big head human, a human that has a giant head, invented this. Now here was a prank that happened to London, allegedly. Somebody put anatomical robots on a bridge, and it scares us because it makes us think, what the fuck? For all we know, this could have been some type of bomb or something. And imagine if the Queen of England, if she's a robot, how scared this would have made her. She would have been like, oh my heavens, this could have hurt some robots, some realistic humanoid robots, like the ones you see here walking on the bridge. I'm not saying all Welsh people are robots. This one has black hair, for an example. And I'm not saying all of them have to have black hair either. I'm just joking here. I honestly am just joking. But I am also theorizing too. Here is another UFO invasion over a city. Let's say, use our imagination. Let's say this was Utica 5,000 years ago. Just for an example. I'm not saying it was at all. Just for an example, what if? It'd be something like that. Here's an anatomical robot carrying a man who looks terrified. He doesn't know what's going on. It's probably a movie. This looks like a movie because you could tell, because right here the arm plate looks folded and dented. It just doesn't. If this was real, they wouldn't have put much work or effort into it at all. Here's another one that they don't put much work or effort into at all. And for all you know, this could have been real. And they'll show people in a movie, and they'll even show us the prop version of it and be like, look, this is it. It's fake. But we don't get to see the real one. Here's another one serving a kid cake. Or is that a piece of toast for breakfast for going to school? This one has eyes, is able to see the human. This one looks very real. This one, honestly, I don't know what it is. It just looks so real to me. Here's another one. It looks like its purpose was to answer the phone. For this blue-eyed, blonde hair, incredibly perfect-looking woman who's very small and tight has very soft skin. I mean, if we were to invent a sex robot, what do you think it would look like? What do you think a sex robot would look like, huh? If we were to invent a robot that could answer the telephone and a sex robot, what would they both look like? Here's another one that I think played music. Yeah, it played music, and she danced. She was dancing and singing to it, with it. It looks like a jukebox. That's how I know. And she looks like she's wearing space gear, like some space suit, something like from the future. Not something you'd expect people to wear nowadays. Actually, they are releasing a lot of new clothing, like really funny, weird, crazy clothing. And you see models modeling it all the time, and it's really scary. Well, that's them slowly releasing their space outfits. They're going to eventually start wearing that every day. It'll look just like this. They're not trannies, they're not psychos, they're not trendsetters who are trying to start a new trend wearing something that I don't know if it looks good. I don't know if it looks strong or maybe futuristic. Kind of looks futuristic. There's nothing wrong with looking futuristic, right? There's nothing wrong with that, but from our perspective, looking at it, it just looks like so tacky and so unnecessary and expensive, and it doesn't make sense, and it doesn't make the woman attractive at all. It could. Like, this one looks kind of tight, or it's kind of like see-through. You kind of see her legs. It's kind of attractive. Okay, let me look for some other ones. I think I might have some more. Okay, so I can't find any more photos of the robots. I could go on Google and find more, I'm sure. There's probably there's probably trillions. Honestly, there's so much photos of robots on the internet that now that I mention it, they're going to have to start shadow banning them all, because from a human's perspective, that's too much. Not every human on planet Earth is releasing photos of robots. There are trillions of photos. Only a robot can release all of that data. Only a robot can hold all of that data. I mean, where is it all? On Facebook? Where? I mean, who knows? There's probably some hidden base underground somewhere to blow up someday. They won't know what caused it. Anyways, so let's just read this a couple times. 800 million from just the grain they use to feed livestock. They could feed 800 million people. So imagine Utica, New York used to have a population of 130,000 that they admit. There probably was a ton of illegal aliens, and there was probably a ton of people who would never use the census in a million years. They're like, I don't trust that census shit. So they were never counted. There could have been 1 million people in Utica, New York. A small city with small infrastructure. We probably have a subway tunnel under the city, and it's probably occupied by, at very least, Muslim terrorists, if not alien robots. Will they ever fix it up and admit it? Show us. Tell the world. This crazy guy's actually right about something. Or will they destroy it all like they did on Oriskany Street and just let it all cave in? I think option number 2 is what they're going to pick, because they already did it at Oriskany. That could have been a mistake, though. We could pray to God that was just a mistake. Have faith. They'll try to serve humans better. But I don't know. I don't know about that. That might have killed people. I don't know if anybody died in that cave-in or not. They won't tell us when you look it up. Look up Utica, New York, Oriskany Street cave-in, fatality, injuries. You won't find any of it because it is hidden. I mean, how much more obvious does it have to be? They have to just show you it? Like, this is what we're hiding from you. Now forget. They smack you in the face. Put some poison in your brain to make you forget. Some anesthesia. They think anesthesia works on everyone. I remember getting anesthesia in the hospital. They're lying about everything. They are such scumbags there. The things they do to their patients is horrible. Horrible. They poison their patients. They enslave their patients. Then they give their patients anesthesia and make them pay for it. A guy in a psych ward should not be anesthesiaed at all. There's no excuse for it at all. At all. There's not a single excuse that you could give to anesthesia somebody in a psych ward. You've got to be really, really fucking stupid to do something like that. Because now, if I go get a lawyer, I could take that to court and I could sue them. They either billed me for something they never did to me, or they did anesthesia me, and I remember exactly what they did to me. They think they're clever. They think they're smart. They ask you a bunch of questions like, have you ever heard voices in your head? I'm like, yeah, I hear the neighbors talking all the time. They're fucking annoying. I got a really active imagination. So yeah, I can hear voices if I want. It doesn't bother me at all. I'm completely fine. They're like, he's got schizophrenia. Anesthesia him so he doesn't remember this. I mean, that's the shit they do. That's the shit they fucking do. It's like truth serum somebody. You have no excuse to do that. At all. I'm pretty sure there's no legal excuse at all. I told the cop I wasn't planning on doing anything bad at all. They knew I wasn't doing anything bad. They're full of shit. If they lied, they probably made up a lie. That cop can get sued too. That fat lesbo cop, who also looks like a robot and acts like one, guaranteed she's one. If anyone's one around here, she's definitely one of them. She's definitely one of them. She's got to go. Or she's got to be reprogrammed, one or the other. We can't have corrupt cops making up false reports about our civilians. That is a sin. That is evil. But she don't care. She sins all the time with her wife. Anyways, back on topic. So, these scumbags know. They got tons of money. She's making like $200,000 a year. And most of the time she just sits around. I mean, they're making tons and tons of money. There's a lot of money in this society. We used to have way more infrastructure. We used to have way more people working. We used to have more. Everything you look. We had 2 airports. We had more airports than we have now. We can't even use this airport we got now. We used to have more malls. Not anymore. We used to have more of everything in this city, and they're covering it all up, and they don't want us to remember any of it, because they're scumbag, evil terrorist robots, and they're from another planet. Plain and simple. We need to de-off them. We need to go to the police station and start de-offing them. Not their Wi-Fi, but them. Them. They need to be shut off. So that way the real cops can see what they are. And I'm going to end it on that.